The embassies of Israel in the whole of Africa must go until the people of Palestine find their peace.
South Africa Parliament, they have just voted the removal of Israel embassy in Pretoria. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to African Talk. This is a breaking news that we are bringing to you. Guys, the Parliament of South Africa, they have confirmed from now on that the embassy of Israel will have to be removed from this country. How did we get here? Who had bring in these motions? That's what we're going to discuss with you in this video. But guys, before we get to engage ourselves in a very deep conversation, I want first to pay attention to this video which I'm about to play to you, because we all saw how the president of EFF, Julius Malema, alongside with EFF members, went to in Pretoria to Israel embassy to go and denounce the genocide that the Israelis they've been giving to the people of Palestine. And they had asked this Israeli government to remove their embassy because they feel like there is no need for them to continue working together. There's no need for them to keep this tight. So South Africa decided to let go of their relationship which they have with Israel, so that they will show their solidarity with people of Palestine. And Julius Malema had given that message in Pretoria. Just in case maybe you forgot about it, let us try to remind you of what Julius Malema had said.
We are here to do a simple task, to tell Israel and the world to know that we are on the side of Palestine. We are not neutral, because neutrality during the difficult times is equal to selling out. Palestinians will remember the silence of those who kept quiet during difficult times. We are here today in Pretoria, the heart of apartheid. The reason why we are able to come and march here today and do it freely, without soldiers carrying guns, without police carrying guns, without us being intimidated, is because the people of the world stood with us during difficult times. It was the people of Nigeria who took their money from their salaries and donated to liberation movement for us to get our freedom. It was the anti-apartheid movement in America, in UK, in many other parts of the world, where the world stood in solidarity with us and said, we will not sit down and watch the Afrikaner apartheid regime killing our people in South Africa. That's why we have our freedom today. We are here to extend the same favor to the children of Palestine. The war in Palestine is not a holy war, it's an evil war. Because even here, the apartheid Afrikaner regime used to say they are the chosen ones, used to say they are children of God and we are animals. So when the Minister of Defense of Israel calls Palestinians animals, we know what he means, because we were called animals ourselves here in South Africa by those who were claiming they were sent by God. There is no holy war there. There is an evil war. And we must always stand against the evil. Comrades, what type of government do we have in Israel that goes and bomb a hospital where people have run away for refugee, where people are sick, where children are there, where pregnant women are there? You bomb a hospital and you say you are looking for Hamas, but you are killing innocent children. There is nothing wrong Hamas did. This folk tongues and people speaking in parables and we don't know what they are hearing, what they are saying, it's wrong. When you are oppressed, the only option you have is to fight. And that's what Hamas is doing. They are fighting for their freedom. Mandela did the same thing, took up the guns and fought for the freedom of the people of South Africa. When you are oppressed, you only have one option: confront the enemy and shoot to kill. Do not kiss the enemy. Why do you want to kiss the enemy? People came, took the land of the Palestinians. Every year they extend their occupation. When you look at the map of Palestine, there is nothing left of land in Palestine. The people of Palestine have got nothing to lose but their chains. They must stand up.
That was Julius Malema in Pretoria, protesting alongside with some members of Palestine who were there, calling for the peace and asking Israel to behave. But people, they thought maybe what Julius Malema was saying, it was just a joke. People thought maybe it was just gonna stop there. But later on, what happened was that Julius Malema went even more far. What did they do? They went and placed a motion in the parliament asking for the parliament to chest or to vote for the removal of the Israel embassy in this country. And they managed to do so. Julius Malema placed this motion and he had to tell the parliament what could be the reasons why they should go ahead and vote. Because remember, the government of South Africa, whether it is the ANC members, whether it is the EFF, they've been together with people of Palestine. It is only DA who does not want to position themselves, because DA, they are with Israel, and we know that Israel it is with the West powers, which is the USA, British, France. And so when we see DA, we see the eye of the open eye masters. DA, they kind of like representing the open eye masters when it comes to the South Africa politics. So that is the reason why they never want to side with Palestine, because they know that USA, British, all these open eye masters, they are not on the side of Palestine people. Now, EFF with Julius Malema alongside it the ANC, they did something very important. Before we get to talk more in details about what they did today in the parliament, I want you first to have listened the moment when Julius Malema had placed this motion of removal of this Israel government, embassy in Pretoria. Then I'll be back for more analysis.
Madam Speaker, we are here to introduce the EFF motion on the termination of all diplomatic relationship with the apartheid state of Israel, in particular the removal of its embassy from our land. Accordingly, we table a draft resolution, understanding that at a later stage, when the full plenary of parliamentarians sit, the House will vote and hopefully do so in our favor. Our call is based on the brutal and inhuman violence that the apartheid state of Israel has unleashed on the people of Gaza over the past several weeks. This violence has been over 11,000 Palestinians massacred in an unprecedented military bombardment of unarmed, innocent, and helpless civilians in the whole of human history. In this inhuman bombardment, the Israeli Defense Force has murdered 4,650 children, 3,145 women, 198 medics, 22 civil defense personnel, and 51 journalists. Reports also indicate that 29,200 Palestinians in Gaza are injured. Above all, at least 3,600 people remain unaccounted for. In the devastation of buildings and landscapes, apartheid Israel aggression has forced 25 hospitals and 52 healthcare centers out of service, while 55 ambulances were targeted by Israeli forces. This should tell us that indeed Israel has declared war against children, hospitals, ambulances, journalists, and general campaign to wipe Palestinians off face of the earth. So, what is happening today is part of over half a century-old project to wipe Palestine and Palestinians off the face of the earth. It is a systematic and gradual genocide unleashed by the state that established itself as an ethnic exclusive state of Jews at the expense of indigenous Palestinian population. We must therefore reject the idea that because Israel calls itself a Jewish state, opposing its brutal apartheid system is anti-Semitic. There is nothing anti-Semitic about opposing injustice, particularly apartheid. Zionism does not equal Jewishness or Judaism. No one must manipulate scripture in the Bible or the Torah to promote ethnic cleansing, racism, and the mass murder of people. There are no special human beings with the right to massacre others so that they can benefit from the subsequent stolen land. We are all chosen people of God. We all loved by God, and we must oppose any form of inequality and racism, even by those who do it in the name of God. We must therefore never buy into the lie and propaganda that this is a religious war. This is not a holy war. It is an evil war by an evil regime that is driving an evil agenda. Israel is a Zionist apartheid regime seeking to wipe Palestinians off the face of the earth. Palestinians who have all the rights to exist, particularly in the land of their ancestors. We therefore call on all of the world to isolate Israel through boycotts, disinvestment, sanctions until they end their military occupation and allow Palestinian refugees in surrounding countries like Lebanon, Syria, the right of return. We call on the Ramaphosa ANC government to shut down the Israeli embassy in Pretoria and end diplomatic relations with that brutal apartheid Israel regime. In the name of our own constitutional values, we must end these relations until human rights of Palestinians are respected, promoted, and protected. Israel must comply with international law, and until then, any relations with them must be regarded as an offensive on our constitution. The president yesterday said they are going to send a complaint to International Criminal Court against Israel and Netanyahu, in line with what the president has said. And as survivors of apartheid ourselves, we must fight on the side of the Palestinian people and always be on the side of the weak. We therefore calling on members of parliament and the people of South Africa to support the call to remove Israeli embassy in South Africa. We can't share a territory with murderers. We say no to the embassy of Israel in South Africa. It must go, and it must go now. No justice, no peace. Free Palestine.
So you heard that Julius Malema was very clear in his message, because, as I said earlier, when Julius Malema decided to go and march in front of the Israel embassy in Pretoria, no one took them serious. Some people, I remember, some of the politicians, they had to criticize him, thinking that, no, this is how he always say, and he's not going to do nothing big about it. But Julius Malema knew already that, no, this is not going to finish here. He had to take it even more far. He had to remind even people that, no, look, I know that people of the ANC did also march for the same cause, but the actions is not the same. And we're going to do our actions which had to push the government of ANC to do something better about this, because you can't keep on criticizing the Israel government, yet you are not taking action against it. There is a couple of countries around the world who have distanced themselves already from the government of Israel because of these massacres that they are busy killing people over there, claiming that they are busy looking for Hamas, a terrorist group. So Julius Malema has to say that, no, we don't even see the reason why we're still sitting down with these people, eating with them at the same table, discussing with them all these things, because these people, they are not even there to help us become even a better people. And through this message, he had also called some of the South Africa companies such as the McDonald's, Woolworth, to distance themselves from Israel activities, because we also how the McDonald's had to provide some ads to the Israeli government to help soldiers who are in the front line. So Julius Malema had asked them to not contribute with such kind of ads, because these ads is just to give more power to Israeli militaries, so that they'll go and kill innocent people, as we've been seeing it all over in the social medias with the videos that people are posting on how innocent children and women and men, they are being killed for something that they did not even do. All this because there is someone seated somewhere in the United States of America who's ordering what should happen in that Arabic region. So Julius Malema had to take this move because he wants to see some actions coming from the ANC government. And that is how he gave this message to the parliament, so that they should go ahead and vote. But apparently it worked in his favor. I'll tell you why. Because looking at it, as I said, that ANC, they've been also marching against whatsoever has been happening in Palestine. They've been condemning all these behaviors that Israel has been doing. They try to speak like more peacefully, like in a diplomatic way, trying to tell the government of Israel that, no, guys, you should stop what you are doing, because it's not benefiting people of Israel, because you can't keep on killing innocent people when you know that you are the one who had provoked them at first. But since this diplomacy did not work, I believe, according to my understanding, the ANC, they had their plan B. And their plan B was for them to have someone such as Julius Malema, who have to come and introduce this motion in the parliament, so that they'll go ahead and vote it with their everything's in their power, so that they'll execute it. And that's what happened. To show that the government of ANC, they've been wanting to have this kind of opportunity. You guys, you had the Secretary General of ANC, Fikile Mbalula, who had also to come in media and said very strong words toward the Israel government. That already you will tell that their relationship as a ruling party to the one of Israel, it was already start interrupting itself before even Julius Malema come in. Besides that, today you heard how President Cyril Ramaphosa had to condemn with the harsh words the government of Israel, saying that they are breaking the international law and committing serious crime in Palestine.
The world has borne witness to the devastating killing of thousands of innocent people in Gaza, many of whom are women and children. Over 11,000 residents of Gaza have been killed. Many thousands more have been injured. Infrastructure such as hospitals, roads, homes, and other public facilities have been destroyed. We are told that more than half of Gaza's population has been displaced. Our thoughts and prayers are with all those who have been affected by this violence in Israel, Gaza, and the West Bank. The actions by Israel are in clear violation of international law, including the UN Charter and the Geneva Convention. In its attacks on civilians by taking hostages, Hamas has also violated international law and must be held accountable for these actions. The collective punishment of Palestinian civilians through the unlawful use of force by Israel is a war crime. The deliberate denial of medicine, fuel, food, and water to the residents of Gaza is tantamount to genocide. The atrocities that we have witnessed are the latest chapter in a painful history of suffering, oppression, occupation, and conflict going back more than 75 years. The root cause of all this conflict is the illegal occupation of Palestine territory by Israel as reflected in the UN Security Council Resolution 2334, which states that Israeli settlements constitute a flagrant violation under international law. We therefore urge the international community to agree on urgent and concrete actions to end the suffering in Gaza and to establish a path towards a just and peaceful resolution in this conflict. As South Africa, we call for, first, an immediate and comprehensive ceasefire. Second, the opening of humanitarian corridors so that aid and other basic services such as food and medicines can reach those in need. Third, all countries to exercise restraint and to refrain from fueling this conflict and making it worse, including by seizing the supply of weapons to the parties. Fourth, that those who are being held as hostages, civilians, should be released. Fifth, the resumption of a comprehensive dialogue led and owned by Palestinians and Israelis themselves and facilitated by the United Nations. And sixth, the deployment of the UN Rapid Deployment Force in Palestine with a mandate to monitor the cessation of hostilities. And lastly, the International Criminal Court should urgently initiate investigations against those who have perpetrated war crimes. As South Africans, we appreciate the importance and value of international solidarity, and as an important voice of the Global South, representing a large portion of humanity, we believe that BRICS has a vital role and a voice in a widespread international effort to achieve a just and lasting peace. As individual countries, we have demonstrated our concern at the death and destruction that's taking place right now in Gaza.
Are you disagreeing with him? I don't think so. Because when we look, we can see the fact that the Israeli government, they are busy killing innocent people. They are doing the worst. And what surprised the world about all this is to see the fact that the USA, they are there. They're not saying anything. But when it comes to Russia and Ukraine, just because they want to eliminate Vladimir Putin, they condemn each and everything. So whatsoever has been happening in Ukraine, they consider it as a world crime against humanity. They went on, they influenced the ICC. ICC had to have that courage to go ahead and try to arrest Vladimir Putin. But looking at the way things they are, this Prime Minister of Israel, he have done worse than Vladimir Putin in a short period, 2 months only. He have done the worst. Because him is busy hindering in Hamas, killing people, looking for them, whether it is you guys who are gathered inside the church, whether you are gathered inside the hospital, wherever you are. He kills and then gives his excuses saying that no, there were some Hamas. You guys saw last week how they came with this fake idea of saying that no, we attacked this hospital because the Hamas group, they was hiding themselves inside. I watched CNN, the Western media that always protected all their lies. You know, they could not be able to defend this kind of lie this time because they had to contradict themselves. You ask the State Secretary Blinken, he's saying that no, Netanyahu, he had attacked that hospital because there were terrorists inside, and they showed the proof of some weapons, some small things hidden next to some hospital machines. And when I look at it, I'm like, something's not sitting well here. These people, they are up to something. Maybe they want to make another story so that they'll show to the world that no, they had the right to go and attack an hospital. The next thing, I saw CNN coming with another footage contradicting what Mr. Blinken had said. CNN saying that no, according to our resource, according to our research and with everything that we have in our possession, there is no any sign that there was a member of a mass group in that hospital. There is no any sign because we were there before even the military went in. So there were no any signs. Now I'm like, okay, thanks God, at least these people, they are now getting to the point of contradicting one another among themselves. Not like the way they were doing it before. Because this is what they've been doing. You know, looking at the whole situation they were sitting on the table, I myself, and up to now, until I'm proven wrong or otherwise, I'm not too sure to believe that it was Hamas who had go all the way to attack Israel. I strongly believe that they had to find some people, maybe they pay them, you know, people that can be easy to be identified. They paid them, and then they make this kind of scenario because we are talking about the United States who's in their mission to attack Iran. They want to stop Iran by all means because of the plans that Iran they've been having for some times now. They try to stop them through the United Nations like always. They had to go and raise some motion over there so that Iran should not go ahead with their plans. They fail after failing. Now they need to be more close to Iran in order for them to stop Iran from their plans. You don't get it? Okay, fine. Let me tell you. This week, no, I mean last weekend. Yeah, last weekend. Can you tell me why the USA they have to send submarine? What is this submarine have to go and do there? Obviously, it's because they are preparing themselves to attack Iran. At the same time, last week we discussed with you. I make some serious revelation by telling you what's up to happen in the USA. All thanks to the report which came from the FBI director, who had to tell the world and the people of United States of America that there is some attacks which is about to be happening in some different major cities. So all this threat that the US citizens are getting, and all this move that the US they are making toward Iran, they need to have someone who can facilitate them. They did it with Ukraine. In order for them to be next to Russia, they need to go and motivate people of Ukraine, especially the so-called president of Ukraine, Zelensky, promising him paradise, saying that we will protect you from Vladimir Putin, so that when the men feel like that's gonna trust them. And the next thing, their plan was for them to put something that they know very well that's not gonna sit okay with Vladimir Putin, which is NATO's military base. But now things that went sour. You saw how Zelensky went crazy. is now getting angry about it, like fighting with them, because they have stopped even giving him the funding. And that is the same strategy that the US, they have to make again in Israel. In order for them to be attacking or to be more close to Iran, they need to go through Israel. So with that all being said, there is no any guarantee that shows that the attack which the so-called Hamas had on Israel, it is a real one, because it could be themselves, they plan everything so that they'll have that easy access, because so far no one is condemning about it. Thanks God, at least now there's a big confusion among themselves, the Western countries. I'm referring like to NATO countries. We are having France. I'll be talking about this in more about this in our next videos, where we see France that they are now abandoning the US. They don't want to obey to the US commands anymore. France have understood that if we keep on following these people, well, whatsoever we had experienced already as a terror attack, it might come back. Because do you guys still remember what happened at Chartres in France? Where two brothers kills hundreds of people through some attacks which took place in the restaurants, some at school, some in the cinemas. Do you guys still remember? The two brothers that shocked the world. So France, they have learned their lesson, and they don't believe that no, if we have to go and deal with these people, then it will be like we're dealing with another terror attack, and these people, they might come back again on us. So let us stay out of it. If the United States want to go ahead and do it, let them go and do it. That is how you see now France, they are condemning. You know, they're speaking a bit more loud. Like, when was it? The day before yesterday, I saw President of France, Emmanuel Macron, condemning this Prime Minister of Israel, saying that this is now like more than what we expected. If you don't cease the fire now, you must just know that you are busy violating the international laws. So France, they have understand that. And there's a couple of countries which has also understand the same thing. And there's still also more countries which are going to distance themselves from all this. Guys, because this conflict that's been going on between Israel and Hamas, it had divided the world. Each and every country need to position themselves. You need to position yourself, whether you are with Israel, whether you are with Palestine. Even Vladimir Putin, the man who have actually good relationship with Israel and Palestine, but the man have to decide and make his choice in a very good way to not spoil the good relationship that he had with Israel. So many countries are still coming, because Jordan was the first one actually to stop trading with Israel. They cut all their ties with Israel, saying that as long as Israel keep continuing killing innocent people, then we don't even need to do business with them. Before that, they were sitting on the table, they were discussing about some matters which has to do with a business. But they were the first one to have the courage in the world and tell everyone that no, we don't need this kind of people. And then countries start coming. As we're talking right now, we're having about 7 countries already who have decided to chase Israel from their countries. So Julius Malema, he had to do all this because it was very important. The way South Africa government, they've been handling this situation, it was not a good idea at all. I'll tell you why. Because you can't say keep on blaming Israel, but yet you are treating them very good. Yet you talk to them about everything, so you let them, they are free in your country, you know. No. Sometimes it's better. That's how diplomacy works. We try to communicate with you in a proper way. If you don't understand, we let you go out of our country. Once you leave, well, maybe some days in the future, we might want to fix things. And when that day comes, we'll sit down and we'll talk. But as long as that day is not here, then in the meantime, we just have to be enemies. Because without this kind of pressure, I don't see Israel going anywhere. And it is working. This is another way, you know, those countries, I'm talking about countries such as South Africa, Iran, Russia, China, all these countries that they are siding with people of Palestine. And they're busy putting this kind of pressure. The more this pressure works, it shows the defeat of the United States of America influence. Yes, because we all know that United States of America, they love to have that strong influence around the world so that they'll get to control each and every government. So when they have to come and choose to side with Israel, and the next thing, here comes a group or a bunch of African leaders or politicians all over around the world starts siding alongside with the people of Palestine. That is showing already that the USA people, they don't obey them anymore. People don't listen to their mafias anymore. We have learned their strategies. We have put everything together, and we know now how to react whenever they're trying to show one. So if they have to fail, because this is one of the strategies that they try to apply but did not work. Let me give you this is an example. Look for an example when they start putting sanctions against Russia with Vladimir Putin. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you are not allowed what. They even close all the Russia assets. Russia, who had something almost like 500 billion US dollars seated somewhere, they block all the money. So now they were expecting that, okay, many countries will join them to start putting even more random sanctions against Russia. But these countries, instead of them doing that, they decided to hold themselves. They prefer to remain more natural in all this. Now that they decide to remain neutral in all this, America, they remain on their own with the NATO nations, and they keep on now spending more money because they're not having the full support of the whole world. That's what happened. So now that Palestine, they have a lot of countries also which are supporting them, and these countries, they're busy closing the Israel embassy all over around the world. Well, like it or not, mark my word today, don't say that I did not say it, very soon all this nonsense is going to stop. Because what's going to make Israel to stop all this war is for the fact that you end up realizing that, no, look, we are not doing good. We are losing all our enemies. I mean, our friends around the world. Our economy is going down. The number for unemployment, maybe it might even rise even more. All because at the moment, all these countries that are supposed to be trading with Israel, they are not trading with them. They are keeping their money. They are preferring maybe to go to other neighboring countries where they believe that they are at peace. Guys, we shall wait and see. This is how things works around. This is how United States of America does things. But me personally, I like for the fact that Julius Malema had that courage, at least to take to show this willingness. And now that the parliament, they had took that big decision to let go of Israel embassy, that's the most important things for me. So now let's wait and see what will happen. We get to see a lot of reactions coming from different places about all this evening, since the parliament announced about it, the removal of the Israel embassy in Pretoria. Let us wait and see, and we'll take it from there as time goes, because the West need to know that not everyone is afraid of them. The West need to know that in Africa there's someone who's Julius Malema, and whatsoever he said is not barking like a barking dog. Instead, is a man who wants also to do it with actions. He went on, he called for the actions, he spoke about it, people did not believe him. He insists about the Woolworth and McDonald, no one believed about him, about it. Then he decided to go inside the parliament. He put the motion in the parliament, and the parliament, they react. And as we're talking right now, the Israel embassy is no more going to be in South Africa. So if you were busy maybe applying for your visa to go to Israel, well, just know that your money, they have chow hit, because I doubt you'll get that money back. So we shall wait and see what will happen, guys. But that will be all for this evening. We really do appreciate your time. We really do appreciate your presence to watch this video up to now, because it's very important. This is what we do in daily basis. Every day we are live here with one video where we get to discuss about what is happening in Africa and around the world. You know, we get to make sure that we are all in the same page. So do us a favor before you leave. If you do find anything beneficial in this video, make sure that you like this video, give us your thumbs up. We really do appreciate. And above all, make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you are not following us, so that whenever we upload a new video, you don't get to miss one. For now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.